What up, folks? Once again, it is your boy Tim. Today we're going to be talking about a very sad case. This is in regards to Cleotha Abston, African-American male that has just been charged down in Memphis, Tennessee with the brutal kidnapping and murder now of Eliza Fletcher. This story's been all over the national news. As you can see, we're talking about a black man and a white woman as a victim. Why are we talking about this? Because unfortunately, Cleotha Abston is the stuff that Karens are made of. We all know what a Karen is, the place they have on society. This is what they're thinking about, folks, when they see an African-American walking down the street after dark, when they're jogging and a black man is behind them and they're constantly looking back, or even when they phone the police to make false allegations of suspicion. You're entering in a building that's yours, and because they don't know who you are as a tenant, they're calling the police. It's stuff like this. It's stuff like this. Now, let's be clear. I'm not here to defend or legitimize Karens in any way, shape, or form. They are a detriment to society, particularly to someone that looks like me. If I'm out doing normal activities, standing on the corner, walking home from the store or something, and a Karen calls the police on me, there is a chance that the wrong officer might respond to the scene, and as opposed to de-escalating the situation, escalate it. Depends on what the Karen has told them. And if you're not smart enough to respond to police in a mild of a manner as possible, could mean your life. Certainly if you're angry about being accosted or suspected of something you didn't do. There are police officers who have no tolerance for you questioning their authority. So it is always a danger when someone calls the police on you, because you do not know who is going to respond or the mindset of that officer. Not to suggest that all officers are bad at all, but just like any other human being, they could be going through something in their own daily life or just simply having a bad day. So they respond to whatever the Karen has told them. And if you get angry for them showing up to mess with you for something you didn't do, well, yeah, you could get arrested, beaten, or even worse. So there is no benefit to having Karens in our society. However, this is what Karens are made of, is Cleotha. So I just want to kind of make this video as a public service announcement, pleading, because this is all over the national news and things like that, that we do not judge people based on their visual appearance, but on the content of their character. This right here leads to people being judged on their physical appearance. It's just really a sad state of affairs, but yeah, this was in the news, whereas this guy, originally there was video footage or evidence that the woman was kidnapped, but they did not know by who. But they did have a picture of the vehicle of the kidnapper in the background. And they used their detective techniques and witnesses and things like that to figure out who owned the vehicle. And it turns out it was Cleotha. There are witnesses that suggest that he was seen cleaning his vehicle the night after the incident or the day after the incident. And it turns out it was only a short distance from where he was cleaning his vehicle and where her body has now been found. But it was all over the media. So a lot of folks are judged based on how individuals are portrayed in the media. If you talk to right-wingers, for instance, they will tell you all day, every day that they get a very unfair portrayal in the media. Well, there was a group complaining about how unfair the media was long before Republicans and right-wingers did it. It was black people. You put the worst of us on television. You only show individuals that are doing bad things, can't speak the language properly, committing crimes. I'm not suggesting that anyone is going to become a Karen, but it would not surprise me if this leads to, or better yet, down that road. Now, Memphis, Tennessee, for instance, obviously has a history of racism, to the point where they even have two mayors in that town. The town of Memphis, Tennessee, which is predominantly African American, generally has an African American mayor. The surrounding area, which is typically white, they really have a county mayor so that mayor gets to oversee them. So it's an urban area literally with two mayors. That's how divided that area is. So this incident happening in an area like that, Cleotha has not done anything good for African American male citizens in that area. It's just, who knows what type of stop and frisk type policies are going to be implemented because of this. I just really hope that the state of Tennessee does what they should do in regards to Cleotha, because this individual has a history of this. He served 20 years for kidnapping someone else from the age of 16. He kidnapped someone else at 16 and served 20 years for doing that. And he only got out, I believe, in the year 2020. And here he is doing the same thing again and murdering the victim. So, yeah, I just want to plead with the folks that are watching. I don't have a large female audience, but even from the male standpoint, do not judge people based on their appearance because of something like this. Because this does not represent by any means the typical individual that looks like Cleotha Abston. This guy apparently is a habitual criminal, and he's likely to do this again in the future, I would assume. So hopefully the state of Tennessee does right by its citizens and makes it so that this individual cannot do this again. Anyhow, I appreciate you guys watching. Subscribe to the channel as usual. I'll see you in my lives. I am the Handsome Liberal on TikTok.